We have a release date and brand new gameplay trailer. Star Wars Zero Company is releasing on August 27th, 2026, and after watching this trailer about 15 times, I've got a lot to say. We're breaking down everything: the story, the characters, the gameplay systems, the mysteries the trailer leaves open, and yes, that ending. Before we get into the trailer itself, let's cover the headlines. Zero Company launches August 27th, 2026 on PC, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. You can pre-order now. There are two editions. The standard edition is $49.99 on PC and $59.99 on console. The deluxe edition runs $59.99 on PC and $69.99 on console, and adds 2 exclusive cosmetic packs plus 5 Clone Wars era painted weapon themes. Both editions are entirely cosmetic upgrades, nothing gameplay affecting in the deluxe. EA confirmed there will also be a collector's edition, but we don't have any details on that yet. Quick setup for anyone new: Star Wars Zero Company is a single-player turn-based tactics game. Think XCOM, built by people who literally made XCOM, set in the Clone Wars. If you want to understand exactly where it sits in the XCOM lineage, and what it borrows versus what it does differently, I've got a full video on that link now. It plays Hawks, a former Republic officer leading a crew of unconventional specialists called Zero Company, on covert operations in the shadows of a conflict the galaxy thinks it understands. The threat they're hunting is the Infinite Coil, a separatist-aligned cult led by Kundry Fathom, who pose a threat to the entire galaxy. Now let's talk about what the trailer actually showed us. The trailer opens cinematically, clone troopers dropping into a chaotic battlefield. Before cutting to the first gameplay section, a squad of 4 running onto the battlefield: Hawks, Trick, Jay Mordant, and Cab Uppercut. Your mission objective is visible top left: destroy the comm station, plant the charges, standard special ops. Then the story framing kicks in. We get a narration about a separatist fleet amassing in the Serralona system, one of the confirmed mission locations. Then a scene that tells us a lot about how Zero Company gets its jobs. Jay Mordant, an ex-noble and playable character, is speaking to Bennick, a Republic intelligence officer, asking if they should make a move. Bennick says, "You got someone?" And Jay answers, simple: Zero Company. It's interesting, she's not just a squad member, she may be the one who commissions the operation. She seems to be driving the story from a political angle, given we know from the previews that she's a former Archbaroness of Shu-Turon. Later, Hawks asks Bennick what the intel is. The response: Cult Silius. Core has been spotted with the local gangsters. We see the holotable with the mission called Jedi Undercover, where the Coil's mysterious leader is supposed to be. Then we get a first proper look at Kundry Fathom. This is our first real glimpse as her as a character, until Rhea Vokus, our Tognash Jedi Padawan, tells Hawks she's been tracing Fathom for months. She's at the centre of it all. There's a central antagonist, and we're going after her. We also get a brief glimpse of Typhon, a super tactical droid who's developed a personal obsession with the Shadow Plague. He appears with the line, "The circle must be closed." Given what we know about his fixation on the plague, it's not a reassuring thing to hear. Let's talk about the characters. We see a bit more of their personality. Hawks gets a couple of light-hearted moments, rolling into cover slightly too dramatically, dispatching a droid with a dry quip in a western drawl.
"You still got it, old man."
We see more of what Trick, the disillusioned clone trooper voiced by legendary D. Bradley Baker, is capable of. A devastating rocket attack, Baker's voice coming through perfectly. We see what might be Hawks interacting with other characters outside of missions, potentially recruiting the other Zero Company members. Luco Bronk walks up to Hawks and simply says, "I want in." Kalai Cullivo tells Hawks, "I'm not in it for the credits." Rhea Vokus gets a genuinely cinematic sequence. Dual lightsabers deflecting blaster bolts at close range, throwing one saber into a droid, then using a force ability against another. It's the most Star Wars moment in the whole trailer. And then there's Anakin Skywalker. The trailer ends introducing General Skywalker, and Anakin ignites his blue lightsaber. The StarWars.com article frames it as his path briefly crossing with Zero Company. This isn't an Anakin-focused story, but him appearing at all is significant for the Clone Wars era setting. We get to see much more detailed gameplay. The combat UI is visible throughout, you're spending action points. In the opening sequence we see Jay's ability, which reads: Fire, Long Arm Blaster, Slow Action, 2 AP, 12 damage, Range, deals blaster damage. There's also a second shared resource called Advantage. You build it by attacking, spend it on special abilities outside your AP budget. We see Telrea using advantage points to perform her force-powered shockwave move. I've broken the full combat system down in detail, action points, advantage, cover, overwatch, all of it. The links above. Each character has distinct abilities. Cab's Bull Rush charges a target, Cly uses her jetpack to land on enemies and knock them over, then follows up with a flamethrower. The astromech runs an impact bomb and scans the environment undetected, which Trick then follows up with a targeted blaster shot. These characters synergize. There are also infinite coil abilities shown for the enemy side, that soul-like visual of ability buffing the nearest ally. When you kill a coil cultist, their plague energy transfers to whoever's nearby. Stack too many on one enemy and they go berserk and become a mini-boss. The enemies aren't passive, you can't just mow through them, you have to manage the order and the stacking carefully. Destructible environment confirms the astromech's impact bomb visually blows of heart cover. The customization is extensive. We see the armory screen, weapon mods, equipment, and a full attire screen. Tops, helmet, gloves, trousers, boots. Individual pieces, not just preset skins. And the squad building screen shows a roster of 9. Mix of story characters and custom operators you recruit yourself. The trailer makes a point of showing wildly different squad compositions in slow motion. If you want to know the full rules around the class system and what squads are actually possible, I've got that covered too. Link above. On Permadeath, an advanced droid kills an operator in the field. Back at the base, the hologram of that appears. Hawk says quietly, he was a good operator, he knew the risks. The trailer also raises things it doesn't answer. Firstly, a red lightsaber. We see it ignite in front of Telrea, but not who's holding it. The obvious read is a dark side presence within or connected to the infinite coil. Given what we know about where this era leads, there's more than one uncomfortable possibility. We don't know, but it's being shown deliberately. Second, there are sequences that look like flashbacks. Clones jumping over gunships, the look and tone different from the main gameplay. Could this be the mission that ended Hawk's and Trick's career in the Republic Army? One shot appears to show Luco Bronk and a clone trooper in restraints, moving toward each other inside a building before a ship fires from outside and interrupts whatever's happening. A prisoner exchange, a rescue, something going wrong during a handoff. It's not clear. But the restraints are notable, and whatever this moment is, it feels like it happened before Zero Company formed. Third, Anakin. The StarWars.com article says his path briefly crossed with Zero Company, and that their intel and tactical expertise is what he needs. That framing suggests a cameo rather than a squad mate, but briefly can mean a lot of things, and whether he is ever playable in any capacity, even for a single mission, is something Bit Reactor has not addressed. Given the character, given the setting, it feels like a question worth asking. August 27th, 2026, that's the date. After everything, the announcement, the previews, the wait, we're less than 3 months out, and now we've seen it move. Zero Company is real, it's tactical, it's Clone Wars in a way we haven't seen in a long time, and I can't wait. Everything I've covered today has more depth behind it, characters, gameplay, locations, the XCOM comparison. All of it's on the channel. Links in the description and cards throughout this video. Subscribe if you want the breakdowns as more coverage lands between now and August. I'm Joe. I'm glad I finally have more footage to use. Cheers.